All right, we're going to go ahead and call the Planning Commission meeting to order for June. I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. We do have a short staff here tonight. We do have a quorum though, but we do have a few people out tonight, so bear with us. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start with. Do we have somebody keeping the minutes? You're doing that tonight? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We're going to start with the first thing we always start with here is the housekeeping item of approving the minutes from the month of May. What's your pleasure, gentlemen? Okay. All right. We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from May. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right. Okay. Unfinished business. We've been the commercial building waiver, design waiver located at 5520 North Arkansas. We've been asked to table that. And I'll need a motion to do that, guys. So we've been asked to table this item here. Yeah, we need to go ahead and get them.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I hear a second? All right. We have a motion and second table item or the unfinished business, item 1 to the July meeting. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Okay. Item number 1 of new business, memorandum of understanding to allow parking in a right-of-way located at 104 South Rochester Avenue, submitted by Barrett and Associates on behalf of Arkansas Workforce. Sarah, you have a report on that for us?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So this is a special use permit specifically known as Memorandum of Understanding to allow the continued use of 5 feet of the right-of-way for a total of 14 parking spaces along South Rochester. So I believe you would remember that last month we had the large-scale development application, and with that application, they actually proposed to move the 14 parking spaces back away from the curb, leaving 6 feet between the curb and where their parking spaces would remain. Since we did not have an agreement for those parking spaces within the right-of-way, this application is to allow the Arkansas Workforce to retain use of that 5 feet for those 14 parking spaces along South Rochester. I will not go through the entire report. However, as you know, with memorandums of understanding, we have specific conditions that are attached to that. So the license is assignable only for allowance of the 5 feet for each of the 14 total parking spaces along South Rochester within the right-of-way. The licensee shall not gain an interest in the land by granting of this license. Future improvements of the right-of-way that include sidewalks may require the licensee to abstain from using land that this agreement may cover. The licensee agrees that any expenditures of the licensee within the public right-of-way shall not be performed on the reliance of this license. The licensee agrees that there are not any interests in the land to be coupled with this license. The license shall not expand any more development within the public right-of-way than what is already presented as part of this application. The license is revocable at any time, and the licensee understands and agrees that any improvements of the property owned by the city and covered by the license shall be solely at the owner's expense and shall not be reimbursed by the city. And so it is staff's recommendation to forward the memorandum of understanding to the city council for approval with those 8 conditions listed. As a result of the findings that Arkansas Workforce has been using that area of the right-of-way for parking for many years, they are relocating the parking away from the curb by 6 feet, leaving space for a future sidewalk if ever constructed by the city, and there are no plans to upgrade Rochester along this corridor. Are there any questions?
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Dave, you have anything to add to that?
Unless you have any questions.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions? Or this is a public meeting, so anybody has any questions, feel free to step up to the mic, identify yourself for the record, and ask any questions you might have. Commissioners? What's your pleasure, gentlemen? Okay, we have a motion to approve the request.
I'll second.
All right, motion and a second. All those in favor, acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Okay, next item. We have a special use permit to allow a print shop in a C1 zone located at 316 West Main, submitted by the print shop, or the print house on behalf of Dale Brothers of Northwest Arkansas, number 1 LLC. Sarah, you got a staff report on that?
Yes, sir, thank you. So this application is being brought for a special use permit to allow operation for the print house. This is over where a screen printing business had previously been located. However, a special use permit had never been issued or granted to that previous owner. And so when this application was brought to the city to let us know what they were proposing, we recommended that they have to go through this process and helped them work through the process for that. It's in an existing structure. There will be no impact to adjacent or exterior of the property. And so as a result, staff recommends forwarding this application to the City Council for approval with the condition that any signs proposed must apply for and obtain a certificate of appropriateness from the Historic Commission and obtain a sign permit as a result of the findings that the structure is existing and previously used in a similar manner. Public safety requirements of the proposed structure are met. Current traffic routes are constructed in such a way to handle any traffic from the business and public facilities already service this location. Are there any questions?
I was under the impression that was some kind of sporting goods store.
Yes, sir. So there's going to be two businesses in there, and the one business is permitted in the commercial, historic commercial district, central business district, whereas this print shop is only permitted by special use. And so the one business has started. This is just going to be in the back portion of the building.
I thought I'd seen this before.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Is anybody from Dale Brothers here tonight? For the print house? Okay, do you have any questions or do you have anything to add? Okay. All right. Commissioners, do you have any questions for either Sarah or, what was your name, ma'am? Charlotte. Okay. Anybody have any questions for either one? If not, what is your pleasure?
I move to approve.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the request for a special use permit. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right, item number 3 has been, that application has been withdrawn, but since it did make it to our agenda here, we do have to take action to remove it. I'll entertain a motion to do just that. Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay, motion and a second to remove this application. Item number 3, this application for a special use permit to allow the storage building container at 3525 East Main Street to remove this from the agenda. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Okay. All right, item number 4, we're rezoning a property from R2 to R3 located at 1401 North Parker Road, submitted by Plunkett Burner, okay. Plunkett Burner and Associates Incorporated on behalf of ABL Properties LLC. Sarah, take it away.
Yes, sir. So this is similar to a couple other applications that we've had recently for apartment buildings. It is existingly zoned as an R2 medium density residential, and they're requesting to change it to R3 medium high density residential. Because of the number of units on this, this apartment complex would not be permitted in an R2 zone. They are proposing to sell this property, and then the future property owner is proposing some updates, paint, just some facade updates to that. The sale is contingent, my understanding is contingent on the rezoning to change it from a non-compliant structure to a compliant structure. So staff does recommend that the commission forward this application to City Council for approval to rezone the property from R2 to R3 as a result of the findings that it is in line with the existing and future land uses within the area. It does align with the Reimagine Russellville 2040 comprehensive plan, and there is no increase in value or income potential from the property since it is existing. Are there any questions?
All right. We do have thank you, Sarah. We do have a representative from there tonight. Do you have anything to add?
No, but I'll be happy, David Byrne, I'll be happy to answer any questions anyone has.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Berner. So, Commissioners, you have any questions for Mr. Berner or Sarah? Seems like a pretty simple one. What's your pleasure, gentlemen? Okay, we have a motion to approve this request to rezone. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a second. Motion and a second to rezone this property from R2 to an R3. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right. Item number 5. Rezoning of a property from R2 to R0 located at 1900 block of Fairway Boulevard, submitted by Barrett and Associates on behalf of Beaver Trails LLC. Sarah, you have a staff report on that one?
Yes, sir. So this is a rezoning request to change from R2 to RO residential office located on Fairway Boulevard. This is adjacent to the nursing home that was constructed in 2013 on Fairway Boulevard, right there in the curve. It's just north of that property. The nursing home was rezoned to RO so that it could be constructed back in 2013. And this property is under contract to be sold to Boast Incorporated that does adult and child development programs. So when you're considering a zone map adjustment, you need to consider future and current land uses of the area. Is it in alignment with the comprehensive plan and the value or income potential of the property? We do already find that future or current land uses of the area contain a mixture of lower density to medium density residential, and it is considered to remain suburban residential in the future land use plan. Given that the uses within this Fairway corridor are a nursing home to the south and ABC Children's Academy, there's also a proposed church across the street along with medium density residential subdivisions. It's fair to make the assessment a residential office would be appropriate zone change given the location. Because in the comprehensive plan, we allowed a lot of flexibility in the suburban residential area, it is a fair assessment to say that it would be in alignment with the comprehensive plan. And as currently zoned, this use would not be permitted. However, allowance of this rezone would allow development of the property as proposed by the future owners. It may increase the income potential of the property. However, it does seem to be in alignment with other uses within the Fairway corridor, and the proposed use would directly benefit the surrounding community. As a result, staff does recommend that the commission forward this application to the City Council for approval as a result of the findings that it is in line with existing and future land uses within the area. The proposal aligns with the Reimagine Russellville comprehensive plan, and there's no increase or value income potential of this property.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
All right, thanks, Sarah. You got anything to add to that, Dave?
Well, we're excited that Boast is going to build a new facility. As you know, right now they have a temporary facility on North Elmira, and they're also building a new facility in Dardanelle. They're currently in Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas. And so with that, we're going to not only get new construction, but we'll also get jobs in the nursing and training field. So it's good. I like to continue to see development happening in Russellville, especially in the medical and technical fields. So that's pretty much what's going on. And so they're excited, and they're kind of in a hurry. And to get started and get going, they're pushing Dardanelle as well. And so that's all I've got right now.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Dave Garza before he has a seat? All right. All right, commissioners, what's your pleasure here?
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the request to rezone. Do I hear a second? Okay, Mr. Black seconds. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye. Aye. All right, any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. And if we don't have any further business, we are adjourned.